Alright guys, we are about to get going here. Sorry for the little bit of the delay at the start. We're going to be talking about the journal and all the other craziness that's going on, so stay tuned. Hello everyone, and welcome, let's get that out of there, to episode number 99, that's right, 99, of the Chronicles Interior Podcast, Guild Wars 2 podcast for fans, by fans. I am joined once again by the lovely Saune, so welcome.
Hello!
Sorry about the beginning, guys, the whole before the stream playlist thing was being a pain, but I got it now. And yeah, so we are here to discuss the shocking, unexpected news that came out of ArenaNet this week, as well as some Dataminer stuff and little patch notes that came out. So we hope you enjoy, and welcome to everybody that's watching us live. So hello. Alright, so we're going to start off with some mailbag stuff, as we do. Do you want to talk about the Carvice one? Because that's actually more you than me.
That's more me than, yeah. So, first thing was from Carvice with regards to, I think it was the last question of the week we had. So not last week, but the week before. He just sent us an email with some ideas to use house crests in place of the racial icons. So that's an awesome idea, and thanks, bud. That's actually really helpful. So, yeah.
Alright. YouTube, we got a fair amount of responses to things. Natasniel, we go with, that's how you pronounce it. I'm sorry if I massacred that. I like following you in your adventures. Keep going. By the way, the Queen of Giggles is awesome. This was in reference to Lagging the Ladies number 6, which just came out on Tuesday. Do you hear that, Amy? Queen of Giggles is awesome. So, there you go. Did you want to take the next one, or do you want me to read while you drop?
I can read.
Okay.
Sometimes.
No, that's good.
Tori G, he posted up on YouTube on podcast number 98. I do need to start checking my word count before throwing my walls around. Sticky out. Tongue sticky outy face. Sorry for missing the deadline for last week's cast. I need to start following these things so I know when you're going live. We go live on Thursdays. You should be in the chat right now. Bad Tori G.
Well, not always. The one that screwed him up was the time we did it on Wednesday.
Yeah, that's true. That was the one that he missed, because we did do it impromptu on Wednesday, because it was kind of like on both of our accounts.
Yeah, we actually may be doing another one on a Wednesday, actually. I'm gonna tell you that now, Saune, maybe.
Okay, thanks for the heads up.
in July, because the 4th of July, obviously a big holiday here in America, is a Friday. Okay, so I'm going to go on vacation that Thursday night, which would normally be the night of the podcast. Originally,
Well, you said that we were canceling that week altogether.
I was, but that's before they decided that Living Stories Season 2 comes out that Tuesday.
Oh yeah, that
I feel
would
like
kind of
it's
throw things out.
probably better to cover that on Wednesday than cancel the week that the content we've all been waiting for 6 months, 7 months shows up, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, more on Living Story in a little bit, because we have some very interesting news that came out of ANET that I'm sure you're all aware of, but we'll get to that in a second.
Yes.
Alaska commented on episode number 98, only 2 episodes left till 100. Math is fun, unless you're me on... Is it the Let's Lore? Yeah. Whatever, it's not even... Anyway, we're moving on.
Oh yeah.
Matt G has something. Did you want to read that? Clob?
Yeah. But no, we need to explain that. I was rewatching some of the old Let's Lore, and I think it's on number 24. No, 25. It was on number 25, and that was the week that Lag pretty much didn't sleep all week. So he was like, we're now at episode 25. 22 more episodes till 26.
I don't know if that's true. That's what she says. I haven't rewatched it, so...
Seriously, people, you need to go watch the episode.
You know what? There's gonna be something coming up in the episode of the Let's Lore that releases tomorrow. And
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that I think Saune says a very specific word, and nobody else thinks that that's the case. You be the judge, and you comment in the comments below on tomorrow's video, because I need people on my side that what she said sounds like what I thought she said. So, put that out. Anyway, so did you want to read Clob's thing there?
Oh yeah, Clods. This was you didn't write down which one. This must have been with the last Let's Lore.
Yeah, the last Let's Lore. Yeah.
Yeah.
25.
The one where you can count. I don't know what role can be filled in the conversation department, but you guys need a mesmer to get an even 6, being 6 party members. Also, these episodes are really starting to tempt me to try and find my Guild Wars 1 install disc.
To comment on that, Mr. Clob, you don't need the install discs. You can actually go to guildwars.com and download the client directly from the website. So you don't... I mean, if you're like married to your install discs and want to make sure you use them to install the game, go for it. But you can just download the entire client. So that may help you with that. And right now we have Dunham, the lovely NPC Mesmer, who's been coming along with us. But you guys will learn more about Dunham tomorrow at around 8:30 a.m. Eastern Time. So, lastly, we have a comment from Aster on Twitter. This is in reference to the 12th episode of the webcomic, or issue rather, of the webcomic, which came out yesterday, like comics do on Wednesday. That last panel killed me, not literally, of course. Dead people can't type, can they? I'm actually just going to skip ahead so we're all on the same page. This is in reference to the 12th issue of the webcomic, which that didn't post. That just posted comic number 12 in the chat. Here is the actual link. There we go. So there you go. That's the link directly to our most recent webcomic. Again, a slight deviation from the story, but it sort of an inside joke, but also just funny. Just the way Sylvari act. So, alright, we're gonna scroll back up here. Oh, next up is shoutouts. That's an empty canvas. That's shoutouts. Yeah. So again, the lovely shoutout art that you see is not an official ArenaNet piece of art. This is an art generated specifically for us by a very talented artist by the name of Vasburg, whose link to his works will be in the description. He is working on some more of these kind of transition cards for us, so we look forward to seeing what he has to offer us in the future. But what did you want? What were your shoutouts on?
My shoutouts. I need my list. I need to rely on my list. I have a shout out to Robovin, because the last podcast he sent me the ancestral outfit, which I really, really wanted, even though I didn't ask. So thanks. That actually meant a huge amount to me. I was literally waiting for the trade value for gems and golds to even out so that I could spend my every last penny to go get it. So that was really awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to shout out to the team I have helping me on the logo. So Claude, Grafer, and Kero, who I'm keeping the three of them quite busy trying to help get this the new logo going. So
It's kind of nice having people you can delegate to, right? Have like people to do work for you. This is what it's like for me and you. I don't know if you realize that, but
it's weird. I'm not used to actually like relying on people to get stuff done and then they do it. That's the weirdest part for me.
I know.
Normally I end up doing everything because no one does it.
Well, see, like you're like that whole team, but for me, I just have you do stuff. And that's what it's like. So now you know.
Yeah.
I also have some shoutouts again to my good buddy, Mr. Robovin, who also sent me the ancestral outfit. So after last week's podcast, he went on the gem store and gifted both Saune and I the ancestral outfit. Now, I was planning on picking it up myself. I just wanted to, he was talking about giving it to someone, so I was like, oh, give it to Saune, because she super wants it. I don't need anything. And then he still got me one anyway, so thanks, dude. That's awesome. You're amazing. I miss having you live on the show a lot. Your interactions, your comments, always greatly appreciated. And thanks for sticking with us for so long. I know you had a lot of stuff going on, so you're back and forth, but thanks for hanging out. And another shout out to Mr. Chris Whiteside, the dev from ArenaNet, who he followed both me personally and Chronicles of Tyria on Twitter just the other day. So that's a pretty big. I was losing it a little bit because an ANET dev followed me and CoT, so that's awesome.
Yeah, you pretty much squealed.
I did. I squealed. It was a fan. It's a fan person, fanboy, fangirl. I'll say it was a fangirl squeal. That's what it was. I was like, oh my god, David, follow me. Freaking out. It was awesome. I should have recorded my reaction. But just I wanted to ask, it's not just me, are you using like a blurry tool?
Yes.
Okay. Cuz it looked blurry and I wasn't sure if it was like the resolution or my eyes or something. But now that I know
it looks like pencil.
Yeah, okay. That's fine. I just want to make sure that I was not
insane?
Well, I was more worried that there was something wrong with the stream quality, that all your stuff was coming through fuzzy. Alright, well, let's jump right into the patch notes from this week. A copy of these here to you all watching live. And I guess, just to jump back, I'm sorry, iTunes, I've been slacking real bad. I should have a lot of free time this coming weekend, though, so I will be posting all the recent shows on iTunes. I will be updating COTpodcast.com, and I promised last week, and I didn't do it, I will be uploading Pirate's gold making video this weekend as well. Trying to maybe coming out on Saturday. Maybe, I don't know. Actually, speaking of Saturday, I'm just gonna break away from this for a little bit. This Saturday, folks, is the 30th anniversary of one of the best, if not the best, comedy films of all time. And that would be this right here. It's just kind of cut off. But Ghostbusters, okay? Ghostbusters turns 30 years old this Saturday. There's a big fan movement to do a massive online worldwide viewing of Ghostbusters all at the same time at 12 p.m. Pacific time, Saturday, June 7th. So if you've got some free time and watch Ghostbusters with everybody on the internet and celebrate 30 years of awesome. Because I will be. So, yeah. Anyway, patch notes. Alright, well, let's talk patch notes. What did you think of this? Were you expecting any of this?
I wasn't expecting anything, but this honestly just looks like all fixes. changes that they did to the bronze level of the pavilion make sense.
Yeah.
Because, like, especially on some of the lesser overflows, it just takes forever.
Mm-hmm.
So they basically just sped up the bronze level. It's all like, you've already got bronze, let's just get it done and over with. Come on, people.
Yeah. Also, to stop you right there, I wanted to also shout out to Saune real quick. I know I have to jump
What?
back there. But I wanted to shout out for Saune because she's teaching me to use Krita, the software that you see her using every week on the podcast. She's been teaching me how to use that so I can design personal, things for my own personal use. So, Krita, if you're watching, you should sponsor us because we love your product. Anyway, back to...
And it's that easy to use.
Yeah.
That I can just tell him stuff, and he's not that familiar with Photoshop.
I'm not familiar with anything. At all, ever. Except Ghostbusters. But anyway.
Ghostbusters!
So yeah, to elaborate on Son's comment about the bronze level rewards, they basically just nerfed all of the enemies get super weak when you hit bronze level, and they decrease, like Boom Boom Banes doesn't spawn the healing turret anymore, which could take hours if you didn't have a good organized group and weren't targeting the turret. So that makes sense, because I mean, you might want to get some rewards, just a little bit, and you don't have the organization of a TTS or even like a decent number of commanders to organize the group.
Mm-hmm.
So at least you can get your bronze rewards. It won't take you forever. Kind of lumped in with that is the drop rate of Chaos of Lissa, the brand new backpack, has been increased. And if you looked at the trading post, I'm not sure. Actually, let's see what it's at right now.
That's not helpful.
When it first came out, because it was such a rare drop, the Chaos of Lissa was going for about 1,500 gold on the trading post, and now that they've changed that, spelled chaos wrong.
What, to make it even more rare?
No, to make it easier to obtain.
Oh, okay.
When I say Chaos of Lissa back piece, I mean just the recipe, because the recipe is what drops. The recipe to craft it, I believe.
Okay.
Right now, the recipe was at 1,500, I believe. Now it is at about 100. Like max buy offer is 87, minimum sale offer is 108. So it's dropped a lot, which must mean that the rate at which it drops now, there are 26 on the trading post right now. When it first came out, you're lucky if you could find one.
Right.
And it's a similar in requirements to the Light of Dwayna and the Shadow of Grenth. So it's an ascended level back piece, and it takes quite a bit to craft. So, the rewards you get from Sanctum Sprint have been increased.
Yeah, because doing Sanctum Sprint gave you 14 of those festival things, which is kind of crap.
Yeah. Let's see. Little tweaks to the dungeons are in here.
There were some hidden ones that was pointed out by Jax to me.
Yeah,
on the second link.
I don't remember. I heard of these two. Wooden Potatoes, one of his videos, mentioned some of the hidden tweaks to, which is, it's one I remember is the Spider Queen right at the start of Ascalonian Catacombs. If you meleeed the Spider Queen, she would never launch that poison field that does like crazy poison tick damage. Now, if you melee her, she will drop that. So if you have a team that hasn't played Ascalonian Catacombs in a while, and you all run up to melee the Spider Queen, she'll drop that poison field and just wreck you guys. So be aware of that. But that's not in the patch notes anywhere. So they do that a lot, and I didn't realize it till Wooden Potatoes pointed it out in his more recent video that like the troll adjustment in Honor of the Waves, that was a undocumented change. So interesting that they kind of slipped these dungeon updates in kind of under the radar.
Well, I think a lot of them are fixing exploits, so maybe that's why they're not letting us know.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Lots of skill fact updates and things like that. tweaks to show, when things are unblockable, things have reduced cooldown, increased cooldown, things like that. And again, if you recall a while back, there was all these Reddit posts about like secret things that classes could do that nobody knew were like a thing. They weren't documented, but they're things you could do.
Oh,
And
I didn't know that.
yeah, I guess I never told you, but I guess it was about a month-ish. Yeah, around Mother's Day in America, so about a month ago. They put out these, like, people put up these big Reddit threads of like undocumented cool things that professions can do, and it listed a whole bunch of things. One that comes to mind that's nowhere in the game that people have known for a while is the Lunar Wolf with the Ranger. Are you familiar with that?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I heard about that. Yeah.
But that's a thing that is undocumented in the game anywhere, but it's a thing that can happen. It was that kind of stuff. Like, I think like the 2 skill on Elementalist Earth Dagger, maybe, or Scepter, I forget which one it is, blocks projectiles, and it wasn't listed. But like that kind of stuff they put in the patch notes now in these skill facts.
Mm.
And like someone brought this to my attention because I actually missed this on my first run through, is that they tweaked some things for Guardians, and that was now Guardians' shouts can be heard by other players in the game other than just the Guardian. So that's fun, because I've been running around spewing off hold the line. Well, hold the line still doesn't do anything. That's a bug, but like stand your ground and retreat, and it was only me that ever heard it. Nobody else. Made me sad. They removed all the World v World tournament based achievements, and they added the Battle Historian that can accept the tokens. But last I checked, that NPC was still disabled. Is that true? Do you know?
I don't know.
Essentially, based on whatever your ranking was in the World v World season, you get a certain number of tokens. There was a problem distributing those tokens. Some people weren't getting the chest pop in the corner, and some people just didn't get, they weren't getting the tokens. So Arena added the Battle Historian, which will accept the tokens in exchange for the rewards. But at this point, not everybody has received their tokens yet. So rather than release that and have some people be able to get the rewards and others not, they have disabled the ability to even look at the rewards until everyone has received their tickets. So everybody will get it at the same time.
That actually makes sense, because it's this way you don't have people going like, yes, I didn't get any tickets. Scout's honor. Like,
I mean, I'm sure they would check the account, but
yeah, but it's probably easier when they don't have to go through purchase history.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's fine. I think it's a good idea. It sucks to be one of the people that got your tickets and then have to wait. I guess I should clarify. You can go on the wiki and see what all the rewards are. So you'll know what you can get, and you can see the images for the hero and misforged weapons. So you can see those right now.
Yeah.
But you can't actually acquire them in game. So if you want to plan out what you want to spend your tickets on, you can do that. But maybe that'll hold you over a little while. Hopefully it won't be too much longer. But we shall see.
Yeah.
A couple of tweaks to World v World in general. Those breakout events at the start with Siege Grazer and everything, those were dropped from 10 players needed to 5 players. I guess this is to accommodate some of the lower pop servers. Or people that just want to try to take back a tower by themselves with a group of 5 people. Just kind of nice, because you could get a party together and try to run a Siege Grazer or Siege Crusher event, What else do we got? Some of the big changes, which shocked me, honestly, were the Black Lion chest updates. The gem store updates and things like that.
Yeah, I saw your video for that and I loved it.
Yeah, I won't talk too much about it because I did a whole video on it. The whole video is maybe like 5 minutes long. It's not a lot. But they changed it says like the UI was changed for the Black Lion chest, which I assumed meant that I read that the logo, like the icon in game was changed, and it was. So I was like, oh, okay, whatever, not a big deal. They do that from time to time. I don't know why they did that now. It doesn't really seem to make a difference because it's just an icon. Nothing else shares that icon. Unless maybe it has something to do with the journal thing that's coming out, maybe.
Well, I think that with it's newer, it's all shinier and stuff, so it kind of makes it more obvious that it's a special item rather than just chest. Because I mean, the old icon was pretty plain looking, honestly.
Yeah. But now the new UI is essentially, it shows you, like, if there's a guaranteed reward, it shows it, and then it shows you the random 3 items you're gonna get, or it shows you the slots for them, and when you use the key, it like fills the 3 slots, so you can see everything all at once. So it's aesthetically much more pleasing to see and easier to see what you got, so you don't miss anything, especially if you have stuff in your inventory like merchants or, you know, boosters or things like that. You'll see it show up rather than just losing it because it combined like into the stack you already have. And then they added these enchantment what's it called, enchantment boost powders, basically, which just combine all of your boosts into one. So it's essentially a good way, like, if you have a lot of crafting boosters or kill streak boosters or things you're never going to use, you can use these to basically convert those into like a karma booster or a magic find booster or what have you. So that's at least something, because I have a ton of kill streak boosters that I've been saving since Halloween 2012, just in case they ever brought back Mad King chests and I needed to combine boosters together to make Mad King chests, which hasn't happened. So I have like 100+ kill streak boosters that I will never use. Although they did update them recently, so. So that was something. A nice aesthetic change to the Black Lion chests. And it gives me hope that the way how they have the enchantment powders are guaranteed to drop, and you see that in the UI, that I think is only for 2 weeks that's guaranteed to drop, are those. That as time goes on, they will do different promotions for the Black Lion chest to try to get people to go in more often. And be like, oh, for this 2-week period, you're think about this for a second, right? This 2-week period, you are guaranteed to get a total makeover kit and a Black Lion chest. People would lose their shit. Like, you buy a Black Lion key, you're guaranteed to get a total makeover kit, and then you get 3 other items at random. Like, that would be perfect. I mean, people would eat that up. I think. Maybe I'm wrong, but it's a good way to try to get people, to lure people into the gem store and lure them to try the kind of random lottery chance that the Black Lion chest is. So I guess we'll see. They also added, what did you think about this? The additional crafting license. Did you see this in the gem store?
Yeah, I saw that.
What do you think? What's your impression?
I can see that actually being a big deal for some people, but I have 2 thingies assigned to all my characters, and I have certain characters that aren't going anywhere, and they are they've been assigned their crafts. So I mean, technically, I can have all my crafts maxed out and all active because I just assign them to certain characters. But that's the way I like to do it. Whereas if people are they want to have lots of alts, or they're rotating through a lot of alts, maybe they don't want to do that, then I could see this being actually really helpful for some people.
I mean, I'll be honest, I bought it just because I like these kind of things. Like, I love, the crafting node was such a stupid thing, but I love being able to go to my home instance and have, 15 out of 18 daily crafters in my home instance, and I only need to go find 3 things to gather, you know what I mean?
Right.
But it just gives me hope for more convenience-type things like this, which, again, ties into the journal that we're going to talk about shortly. But it would have been even better if this had come out before they made Ascended Crafting a thing and nerfed that 0 to 400's only 7 levels.
Yeah.
Because most of my alts were Artificer, Jeweler, Chef, because that was 30 easy levels. So
Right.
I would have had that on everybody. I wouldn't have to pay any gold, but it's just a little thing. The mystical dragon finisher was added. Did you see the video for that?
I think you showed us once from the when it came up on the ANET Twitch thingy.
Did I? No,
I
no,
thought
oh no,
so.
no, that was the level 80 dragon finisher. For
Oh,
reaching PvP rank 80. This is the
then
mystical dragon finisher, which is a purchasable one from the gem store. This is the Chinese style dragon.
oh okay.
Um, it's pretty neat. I would recommend just checking it out. Dolphy has a video up on her website if you haven't seen it. But it's
Okay.
super long. Like it's the golem, the one where it punches and it flies off.
Right.
I think it might be longer than that one because like the dragon
Wow.
comes out and then it like zips around and like flies off. That's a technical term. um,
Well, I mean, you've already heard most of my drawing has sound effects, so
I do.
that's fair.
In case you guys didn't know, all of Saune's drawings she talks to the colors and the tools and things. I've gotten to witness this firsthand. She tones it down for the podcast, but
Yeah.
um, a few other little tweaks. New additions to the chest. You can get those enchantment powders out of the chest. You can get custom arena time tokens, which are for custom PvP arenas. So if you have one built, you have a chance to get the thing that adds time to them out of the Blackline chest. And the Royal Terrace Pass to get access in the area in our 2-week one. You can get that uncommonly out of a Blackline chest as well. So that's pretty neat. Scroll of Knowledge and Tome of Knowledge drops were increased. The Mystery Tonic, and oh my god, thank god, the Mystery Tonic drop rate was greatly reduced, which is fantastic because I hate Mystery Tonics. Hate them.
They're
Because
useless.
they are. I have
You
500
can't
in the
even.
bank, and I just keep getting more, and I don't want them.
Well, the thing is like, you can't even, like, costume battle with most of them.
The
Most of the transforms.
the only thing that's useful, and maybe this is an education thing for people, is you can use them to craft specific tonics. Like you can use though mystery tonics mixed with some other things to make like a tonic that turns you into an imp or a tonic that turns you into a table or whatever. You can mix those in the Mystic Forge to make other ones, but even still, it's not worth having them because you could get like a booster and then a mystery tonic and then another mystery tonic, and that was your Black Lion chest.
Yeah.
Like talk about the worst thing ever. Like a kill streak booster and 3 mystery tonics out of one chest. Ugh, the worst. Okay, so that was basically the patch notes, the little tweaks that they added. So let's see. Okay, well, let's talk about the big news. Which,
Yeah.
why don't you start talking about this, because I've done a lot of talking.
Is your throat getting still over?
No, I'm alright. I mean, I love hearing myself talk, so I'm okay with that. But,
What are we talking about? Oh yeah, the story journal!
yeah.
The super awesome story journal! Oh, I'm so excited for this! Because, there's so many different reasons why this is good. Like,
Okay, let's start and tell them what it is.
Go read it, because I don't want to have to summarize it. But basically, they're turning the living story into a series of Guild Wars 1 missions. And this is exciting because I actually understand what I'm talking about now that I've been playing Guild Wars 1 a bit.
Yeah.
So, all the story and stuff is going to be, like, instance and stuff. So, you don't have to go running in. You don't have to be pressed for time to try everything. Like, yeah, it's going to be better if you can go in and play a bit at the launch time. But there's not going to be any more race for metas anymore.
No more
where
metas at all.
No more metas at all. So they're not going to be like this horrible grind. Because I think that's what's happened is a lot of these events have instead of being a celebration of the game or new content or anything like that, they're just new things to grind for. And that's what they're becoming. Because they're just nothing more than another grind. And it's kind of ruining how special some of these things are. Because people are getting too focused on these achievements and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, there's that, the fact that it's level 80 kind of intended stuff. So you don't have to finish your personal story, but it is going to assume that you have, and therefore that you are level 80.
Mm-hmm.
I think it even
and that you've done Living Story Season 1.
Yeah. Well, yeah, all the dialogue that you will encounter will assume that you have done your personal story and Living Season 1. Just because it's probably too much of a headache or complicated to try to track that otherwise. So, there's that. And the fact that I think it said that you had to be level 80.
I think I read that too.
To unlock the stories.
I don't think to unlock them, but to play them.
Okay.
Because what it's saying, essentially, and this is what I gather, which makes the most sense. Okay? And maybe I'm wrong, and maybe we're both wrong, but let me go with my explanation here, is you log in during the 2-week period of that living story, and you unlock it. It's available for you, and like if you look at what it has in the UI pictures that they show on the website, play this episode. Okay?
Right.
So you log in and you get it.
Okay.
Now, if it is, like you and I both seem to think, that it's level 80 content, that's perfect, because you'd be like, oh, well, you logged in because you're leveling your character to 80, and you're like, oh man, I can't do that new living story. I'm not level 80 yet. But you've already unlocked it, and you've unlocked it forever. So you can go through and keep playing, get your character to 80, and then circle back and hit living story and go through that once you hit 80. That's what I think is how it's supposed to work.
That makes sense.
Because that actually legitimately makes end game content. I mean, not necessarily like super difficult, but it's content to do after you reach max level.
Yeah, and the thing is to me it also... the thing is, the living story is meant to replace your standard or traditional expansion system. So the point of an expansion is to give more endgame, more you've already capped out, so now we're raising the cap, or we're whatever. So this really makes sense in that sense, that this is what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to assume that you've already fought Zaitan, which a level 30 is not going to have barely even heard of Zaitan, depending on your race, and so on and so forth. So that's really, really exciting. It also means that they're not going to be dumbing down the content for all ages, sort of thing, for all levels. And it's also going to assume a certain level of player competency as well.
Let's see, we got a comment here. Let me look at this. ODZ, isn't it just you have to be level 80 to do the challenge mode achievements of that particular living story content? That may be true. I'm just trying to, like I said, I read it once this morning, and that was my takeaway, but maybe I'm wrong. Characters under level 80 will be able to see the available episodes, but will not be able to play them until they reach level 80. I think that's what it says. To go along with this change, we're modifying the story journal in your heroes panel so you'll be able to track your character's story steps. From that panel, characters who are level 80 will be able to select between playing their personal story and the living world story. For the living world story, you'll be able to select which unlocked episode you'd like to play. Characters under level 80 will be able to see the available episodes, but will not be able to play them until they reach level 80. Think of the living world story as a constantly expanding continuation of your character's storyline once they reach level 80. So I think that sums it up right there.
Yeah.
You know? Which, again, I think is a fantastic way. And again, to unlock an episode and have it added to your story journal, you simply need to log into the game during the 2-week period that the release is live and to be given permanent free access to the storyline of that episode.
To play as many times as you want on any character.
Once you've unlocked it, simply logging in, you can, again, like Saune just said, replay that episode's storyline on any character on your account as many times as you like from your story journal forever. And then again, past episodes will be available for purchase for 200 gems. This, what they mean by this is past, like let's say Living Story Season 1 or Season 2, first 2 weeks, Episode 1, we'll call it, right? Comes out and you miss that because you're out, you lose electricity, you lose your internet, whatever. When you log back into the game for 200 gems, you can pay to unlock that previous story. Again, if you log in during that time, you're given it for free. And the way they describe the rewards, and May just asked in the chat, you will be able to still get the rewards because the rewards are attached to the actual story itself, not to like a meta achievement or anything like that. So you'll be able to get them even if you haven't played them. You can go back and get the rewards. So if you miss an event or you're out of the country or whatever's going on and you want to get it, you can pay 200 gems to go back and unlock that. They're saying that they haven't been able because I'm sorry to jump back and forth. I don't believe you can get the rewards a second time by completing it again. I think that you get the rewards once, but you can still play the content if you want. Like if you want to make videos or go in and look at the lore or what have you.
My understanding is that the achievements for the story don't get unlocked until you've played the story mode once.
Okay, yeah, actually, achievements within story steps from episodes will operate very differently as well. Once one character on your account has completed an episode in their story journal, every character on your account will have access to a set of challenging achievements. At any time once unlocked, you can return and attempt to replay the episode in order to complete the achievements. So the rewards are permanent, a one-time unlock. The achievements, you can then go back in and use multiple characters to unlock the achievements. If, maybe one character is better designed to get whatever that achievement is.
Right.
They said they can't add it right now. It's going to start with Living Story Season 2. They're not sure if they can do this with Living Story Season 1 because of the structure of how it already came out and it was gone and they didn't have this designed, but they're not ruling it out. There is the potential where you'll be able to go back in and play Living Story Season 1 stuff. We don't know anything about that. We don't know if you're going to have to pay for it. We don't know if you already did it. Will you have access to it again? I don't know. But again, for new players, if it was a pay option, this is huge. Like, this is like, oh, I missed out on all this stuff and the rewards associated with them. Let me go pay and have essentially all the content that we had over the course of a year and a half all accessible at once that I can just bang through. It's a pretty big deal.
Yeah. A lot of people on the forums were flipping out about the whole pay thing, but I did have that second link there of a good dev response to that. And basically, he equated it to, you watch a show on TV, it's free, but what if you missed it? Or, you're joining in 3 seasons back, or 3 seasons in or something, and you want to start at season 1. You have to go either rent or buy the episode, like, on iTunes.
Yep.
So that's what he's equating it to. And in that sense, it makes sense. Like, yeah, I personally, having played all of Season 1, will be upset if I have to pay for Season 1. But aside from that, for someone who just buys the game today, and then instead of just reading on the wiki exactly what happened in Season 1, they want to actually, like, be there, it makes sense to charge them for it.
Yeah, I mean...
And they'll probably come up with sales and bundle deals and stuff like that, too. Like, it's good sales, really. Yeah,
I mean, I would even be okay as far as to say, like, if you played it, you get it at a severely discounted rate, but you still have to pay a little bit. I'd be okay with it. That's me personally, because, like, if I watch a show on TV and I want to go back and watch it again, because I watched it once, the TV doesn't give it to me for free. You know what I mean?
That's
like,
true.
if you follow this whole, which is ArenaNet's whole thing, is they kind of wanted to make the show like a TV show, and that you catch an episode, and if you miss the episode, it's there and it's gone, which was the way TV worked, 50 years ago.
Used to.
And now you buy the DVDs or you catch it on Netflix or you pirate it off the internet. But whatever, that's besides the point.
We're only supposed to. This analogy only involves legit sources, okay?
Yeah. So,
and technically, if you use Netflix, you're paying for the service.
Yep, that's
so you're
true.
still paying for the episode.
Yeah. Oh, and there's a problem with the call. So I lost Saune. Hey, there she is.
What just happened?
I don't know. It said there was a problem with the call. I blame you.
I didn't do anything.
Okay. Well, you're gonna have to add your screens back.
Oh, I should do that before I keep.
Anyway, I'm gonna keep talking while you work on that.
Yeah.
So again, this sounds like a big step in the right direction. The other thing that I see as being huge with this is the potential to add new and again, this is from a Guild Wars 1 player standpoint, content that you pay for that you then get in the game that's like specific missions that don't impact this, like maybe missions in the past or something like that, and you pay for it, and then like it shows up in your panel, and because I spent 500 gems, I now have access to, you know, whatever, Saul Alessio story, which, if you guys are unfamiliar with Guild Wars 1, there's this thing they called the bonus mission pack, which was 4 missions you paid for. You got 4 missions from 4 various NPCs, and it told you the story of 4. You went basically back in time, and you played as those 4 characters through their mission, and at the end of it, you got a really cool skin that you couldn't get anywhere else in the game. Probably the best one is that most people know is the character Gwen, who you meet in pre-Searing Ascalon. You don't know anything about her until you meet her years later when she's part of the Evan Vanguard murdering Char. You play the storyline of how she escapes from a Char camp. You play through that whole storyline as Gwen, and when you finish it, then you get a cool weapon skin that you could only get that way. So that was a thing they had in Guild Wars 1.
Right.
So I would be okay paying for that myself, doing some similar things, now that they're kind of building this structure that they could do that. But again, that would probably, people would lose their minds over that because they have to pay for stuff.
I think they couldn't do it now, but maybe halfway through the season, the people might warm up to it.
Yeah. Alu put a little mini wall here. I could see them doing story in a solo type thing, but some of the previous content that was story on top of meta content, like the Lion's Arch Rescue and the big Scarlet Battle before the engineering drill, I don't see the huge many player events happening through this. So I think that everyone won't see the content we did, but maybe just the story when they release Living Story 1 for Season 1 eventually. And yeah, I was going to get to that myself. Like, one of the things from the very beginning of Flame and Frost content of the Living Story Season 1 was the dungeon. You can't do a dungeon with one person. You know what I mean?
No.
So, like, that doesn't work. So they may not do Living Story Season 1 at all. And you know what? If they don't, whatever. It's fine. I don't care. I played it. Whatever. I could be selfish. But I guess we'll see. Well, we spent a lot of time talking on that, and there's still other stuff to talk about.
Is there?
There's a few other things, yeah. Some data mine stuff, and you put up this forum candy thingy here.
Oh, did I? I forgot already.
Well, you're gonna have to talk about it because I don't even know what it is.
Okay. When I was poking my head in the forums, it was just a really neat. I don't know. It's not a formal feedback thingy. I totally forgot the CDI that they're doing. It was someone that started it, and I've noticed that there's been a lot of dev activity on it, where they're basically trying to figure out how to do templates. And they're more or less looking at 2 different kinds of templates. You got your aesthetics templates, which would be skins and dyes sort of thing, and your actual combat templates. And so the community and the devs are kind of looking at and discussing how this would be done if it was to be done. And the thing is if a really good idea gets ironed out, they'll do it. Because the the language that I've gotten from the dev is they do want to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if people really want it to be done. It's just a matter of how they can do it. Because they can't do exactly like Guild Wars 1 had, because the language involved and stuff, like the scripts and the behind the scenes code garbage is just too messy for that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. And it makes sense. I would love builds. They kind of already started it with the PvP. Well, you haven't really played around at all with the PvP stuff, right?
No.
PvP. The build window kind of is like, I feel like that's the first step on the road to builds, legitimate builds. But you can't really, again, you really can't compare Guild Wars 1 to Guild Wars 2, because if I remember correctly, Guild Wars 1, the coding for the game was like written in Notepad. Like, no joke. Like, they wrote it offline, white screen, black text, Notepad, and that's how they coded Guild Wars 1. Like, I can't even imagine how tedious that was, but... Carolina says, again, I think they'll just have the story in, like, the bar stuff and scenes between people, Doliac escorts and lion guards. I think people are expecting to see the entirety of the content and events, and I don't think we'll actually see that. Again, like the marionette event, how would you do that, one person?
Yeah. You'd have to have, like, a video instance of it instead.
Mm-hmm.
Like, basically a fake and baked version.
Yeah. We're getting a lot of comments, solo dungeons possibly. NPC started talking about and Zombie brings up, I think it would be badass if an NPC started talking about the top PvP players in the top World v World servers. I feel like the top PV, again, that's a weird situation because it's the Mists, and you could do it, and I get what you're saying, build buzz about that, and then people be like, oh man, check it out, I got the town crier to talk about how good I am at PvP, like, now everybody will see my name. Which is cool, right. But I don't know if that, again, not that lore and a lot of this stuff seems to make sense, but discussing the Mist stuff, because that could have maybe not even happened yet, theoretically, in PvP.
Right.
But yeah. Well, it's been a while, but do you know what time it is?
Do I?
I don't know, do you?
Is it that time?
I think it is. I think, yeah, I found the right one. Alright.
Yay! Data mining time, data mining.
I will make a video or a sound thing eventually about that. Promise. Okay. So, not a whole lot, but a little bit, because every time there's a patch, some new stuff shows up in game. New armor sets, actually. I don't know if you saw this. 2 new armor sets appeared in game. I just posted the link.
2?
There is 2.
Oh.
Let's see what else. They're not anything too great, to be honest with you. They're kind of generic looking. Mm-hmm. One of them looks like you got the Magneto helm going on, or what's it called, Bug Rider, whatever I mean, I'll let you guys click through them, and the link will be in the description. They're not, like I said, they're nothing too stunning, but I thought it was 2, but maybe it is just the 1. And then you also posted this link about the Fox mini pet.
Yeah.
Post that as well. Isn't that already in the game?
Is it?
Yeah, that's the Arctic Fox.
Yeah, the Arctic Fox is, but not in that color.
Oh, okay, it's just a red fox. Right, I'm sorry. So it's basically the same one, but red rather than white. So, and Eduardo brings up a good point. He says the armors look more like outfits than armor sets. That's entirely possible, given the way the ancestral thing is an outfit, not an armor set.
Yeah, but
good.
The way that the female ones look, I think it could be gemstone armor. Still.
And Eduardo also brings up that I hope don't turn you into Dr. Manhattan, like the Zodiac ones did. Alright, we got, and I'm gonna let you discuss the Craft Corner one, because it doesn't make, I didn't really look at it, so.
Okay. Actually, this is a perfect tie-in, because it, we always talk about armor and how we don't really like the gender differentiation of the armors. Like, it'd be really nice to switch between them, and you posted that too early.
Doesn't matter. Sorry, kid.
Many a time we said it would be cool if the players could toggle between male and female manifest of the armor, and this piece reinforced the call to armor-equality.
And there's a link I just posted.
Yeah.
So there you go, folks. Anyway.
You just opened it up, did you?
Yeah, well, I'd seen it before. You posted it before.
Yeah. Yeah, I told you I wanted it for this.
So, I think that may be it, though. We actually banged through this pretty quick.
We're getting too good at this.
Well, the other thing is, it seems like everybody starts showing up at, like, right now when we're ending the show. Like, more people start showing up. And I feel like that's just because maybe people outside of the US / maybe just, like, daylight saving time doesn't exist there, and nobody gets the hour shift because everybody shows up at the end.
Yes, Amy, you did.
But let's talk about your drawing today and inform the folks what this is all about.
Well, if anyone's seen the Let's lore, then they don't really need much explanation.
The Let's lore or Lag in the Ladies? Because the Let's lore is not
Lag in the Ladies, okay. Sorry.
That's okay.
It started in the Let's lore, but it was actually explained in Lag in the Ladies. This is Amy and I. This is actually why I drew them in our Guild Wars 2 forums. But, yeah. We squeak when we're laughing. Amy, no! And the worst part is Amy and I will get each other laughing because the other one is laughing, and often it starts just because Leg said Amy is laughing or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah.
Yeah, when they laugh.
It got to the point where we were squeaking so hard, desperately trying to inhale, that, they decided that we were talking in squeak, like little mice.
Alucardalina says maybe everybody just shows up at the end to see your drawing completed. I mean, maybe. It could be. But, yeah, when they start laughing, they both start squeaking, and it's hilarious because they squeak, like, they alternate squeaking. It's on. There it is. There was a squeak right there. Yep. So Amy will squeak, and then Saune will squeak, and then Amy will squeak, and then Saune will squeak, and it flips back and forth, and it's amazing. I wasn't even really trying that hard, and she's already squeaking.
Apparently I don't have to hear Amy laughing to start squeaking along with her.
Well, she's in the chat, and apparently she's squeaking along, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you want, check out the Let's Lore that'll be releasing tomorrow. I don't need this anymore. It'll be releasing tomorrow again, around 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. And you'll see how it starts, and then if you watch that, then the Lag in the Ladies that follows, it just intensifies to near epic squeak proportions. So, yeah. But I think that's pretty much it for us, right?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Well, guys.
Wow.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, next week, episode 100. 100th episode.
100!
I don't know what we're doing. I don't know if we're doing anything special, but we're gonna try. So we'll see. But anyway, for the 99th episode of the Chronicles of Tyria podcast, I've been Laglim.
And I'm Saune.
And we will see you as I find the theme song next time. That kangaroo just matches perfectly. It's just, it's eerie how accurate it is to the beat going along to the beat of the music. Alright, see you next time, guys.